Reincarnation, the belief that the soul transitions from one body to another, was once a part of many ancient traditions. But why was this concept removed from Christianity? Was reincarnation ever truly part of the Bible, or was it deliberately excluded later on? And why did it become forbidden within the Christian doctrine? These are questions that have sparked debate for centuries. In this video, we'll dive into the mysterious journey of reincarnation in the Bible and explore why it was ultimately banned. Let's uncover the truth together. The hidden roots of reincarnation, lost truths in the Bible. Throughout history, humanity has searched for answers to the profound questions of existence. Why are we here? What happens after we die? And could we possibly return in some form after our physical death? Reincarnation, the belief that the soul is reborn in new bodies over the course of many lifetimes, has been central to various spiritual traditions around the world. Yet, for many Christians, this concept is not only foreign, but is often seen as incompatible with their faith. But what if reincarnation was not always excluded from Christian thought? What if the Bible itself, in its deeper layers, contains traces of this ancient wisdom? Wisdom that was lost, erased, or misunderstood over the centuries. What if there is a truth hidden within the sacred texts, a truth about the soul's cyclical journey that was once embraced but later suppressed? The Bible, in its original form, is a collection of deeply symbolic and metaphorical stories, each offering spiritual lessons for those who are ready to listen. In the same way, the concept of reincarnation, although not explicitly outlined, might be found in the more esoteric or hidden messages within the texts. The notion of spiritual rebirth, for instance, echoes throughout the teachings of Jesus, not just in the sense of a one-time, new birth, through baptism, but in an ongoing process of renewal, a journey of transformation through multiple lives. Some believe that early Christian thought included the possibility of reincarnation, a belief that was gradually overshadowed by more rigid, dogmatic interpretations of the faith. Could it be that the early Christians saw life as an evolving journey, where the soul was reborn repeatedly, each time learning and growing? If this is true, the suppression of reincarnation might reflect the desire to control spiritual narratives and ensure that humans believe they have only one life, one chance to fulfill God's plan. In this context, the deeper, hidden truth about the cyclical nature of the soul could have been intentionally obscured by those in power, shaping the course of religious history. Yet, the very fact that the concept of reincarnation still resonates with so many today suggests that perhaps this ancient truth was never fully lost. Could it be that the hidden roots of reincarnation are still buried within the Bible itself, waiting to be rediscovered? God's plan or humanity's fate? The reasons behind the ban on reincarnation. If we are to understand why reincarnation was excluded from the Bible and rejected by much of Christian doctrine, we must ask ourselves a deeper question. Why does the idea of one life followed by judgment hold so much power in Christianity? Why do we see life as a one-time event where each choice and action carries eternal consequences? In traditional Christian thought, the soul is given one life. After death, it is judged, either entering heaven or hell based on the choices made in that singular lifetime. This model stresses personal responsibility, encouraging individuals to live according to divine commandments and moral guidelines, under the constant threat of eternal damnation should they fail to do so. This single life paradigm has a profound psychological effect, shaping the way Christians view their actions and their place in the universe. However, what if this one life doctrine is not the only way to understand the soul's journey? What if there is a deeper spiritual truth that suggests the soul's journey is not confined to a single lifetime, but is a continuous cycle of growth, healing, and transformation? What if the soul's evolution spans many lifetimes, each offering opportunities to learn, make mistakes, and ultimately transcend? The banning of reincarnation could be seen as part of an effort to control human understanding of life and death. The idea of a single life and a single judgment offers a clear-cut, easily understandable system of morality. It aligns neatly with the concept of God's divine plan. Each person is born with a purpose, a role to play, and their actions in this life determine their fate in the next. This model keeps people focused on their present lives and moral choices, ensuring that they remain aligned with religious teachings. But the concept of reincarnation challenges this narrative. Reincarnation suggests that the soul is on an ongoing journey, and each life is part of a broader, timeless process. If we are given multiple lives, multiple chances to evolve, then what does it mean for the traditional Christian ideas of judgment and salvation? Would the stakes of our moral decisions be diminished if we could always be reborn? In this light, the ban on reincarnation could be viewed as an attempt to keep spiritual and moral authority tightly controlled. It could reflect a fear of losing control over people's understanding of their purpose, their actions, and their ultimate fate. By focusing on one life and one judgment, religion ensured a more immediate, urgent sense of morality, without the comfort of reincarnation's promise of infinite chances for growth. Yet, this exclusion of reincarnation might ultimately limit our understanding of the soul's potential. The belief in one life encourages a state of anxiety and pressure. How can one soul ever live up to the fullness of God's divine plan in just one brief lifetime? Reincarnation offers a path of hope and possibility, allowing us to embrace the concept that mistakes are not permanent, that growth is continual, and that we are not defined by our failures. Reincarnation and Christianity, the forbidden meaning of spiritual rebirth. At the heart of every human being is a deep yearning for spiritual rebirth. The desire to shed the old self, to awaken to a higher reality, and to align more closely with the divine. This desire for renewal is echoed in many spiritual traditions, but in Christianity, it takes the form of baptism and salvation. We are told that by accepting Christ, we are spiritually reborn. But what if spiritual rebirth is not limited to a single event, a single moment in our life? What if it is an ongoing process of transformation that spans many lifetimes? In traditional Christian thought, spiritual rebirth happens once. Through the acceptance of Jesus and baptism, a person's sins are forgiven, and they are given a fresh start. This represents a profound moment of renewal, a symbolic cleansing of the soul. But when we expand this idea, we begin to see that spiritual rebirth could be understood as a continuous process, one that happens not just once but repeatedly over many lifetimes. Reincarnation offers a model of spiritual rebirth that is much more expansive than the one-time event of baptism. In this model, each life represents a new opportunity for spiritual growth and transformation. Rebirth is not something that happens in a single moment, something that happens over the course of many lives, each one offering a new chance to heal, evolve, and awaken to a deeper truth. This broader view of spiritual rebirth challenges the traditional Christian concept of salvation, which is often understood as a final destination, the moment when a soul is either saved or condemned. Reincarnation, on the other hand, suggests that salvation is an ongoing process, one that is not limited to this one life but continues over many lifetimes. The soul is not fixed. It is always evolving, always growing, always learning. From this perspective, reincarnation is not a denial of Christian salvation, but a deeper understanding of what it means to be saved. It teaches us that we are works in progress, that our journey is not limited to a single life, and that we are always evolving toward a greater understanding of the divine. Reincarnation, in this sense, offers a compassionate, forgiving view of the soul's journey. It suggests that no matter how far we have fallen, we can always rise again. This understanding of reincarnation as an ongoing spiritual rebirth invites us to see each moment of our life as an opportunity to grow, to heal, and to become more aligned with our higher self. It offers a profound message of hope, that we are not defined by our past actions, but by our ability to transform and renew ourselves. Every lifetime is a new chance, a new opportunity for spiritual awakening. Through these meditative reflections, we come to realize that reincarnation is not a mere theological concept, but a profound truth about the human soul's eternal journey. It speaks to the heart of our deepest desires, our desire for healing, growth, and renewal. Whether or not we accept reincarnation as a doctrine, its deeper meaning resonates with the universal truth that we are not merely our past selves, but infinite beings with endless potential for transformation. The legend that begins with death, biblical immortality, and reincarnation. At the core of human existence lies a question that transcends time and culture. What happens when we die? In every spiritual tradition, the afterlife is a central theme, a mystery that invites contemplation and often fear. Christianity, with its emphasis on eternal life, offers one vision: the soul, judged upon death, either ascending to eternal communion with God or descending into hell. Yet, beneath this stark dichotomy of heaven and hell, there lies a deeper question. One that Christianity may have subtly overlooked: is life truly finite? Is death the final chapter, or is it a passage leading to something more? The Bible speaks of immortality, but not always in the way many of us have been taught to understand it. There are references to eternal life, resurrection, and renewal, but often these are framed within the context of a single, finite life. For many, immortality in the Bible means the preservation of the soul in an afterlife, one that is shaped by the choices made in this world. However, could immortality, true immortality, be something more profound? Might it be tied not just to a single life, but to an eternal cycle of death and rebirth, where the soul's journey is not measured by one existence, but by many? Reincarnation, the belief in the cyclical return of the soul through multiple lifetimes, is absent from most Christian teachings. However, if we look closely at certain aspects of biblical symbolism, we can find traces of a deeper truth, a truth that transcends the boundaries of one life. One, Jesus speaks often of spiritual rebirth, of being born again. So John 3:8. But what if this rebirth is not just a one-time event? What if it's a continual process, one that spans not just this life, but many lives? In the Bible, the soul is often depicted as being in a state of constant renewal. It is in this renewal that we might discover the essence of immortality. Rather than viewing death as an end, the Bible, when interpreted with open eyes, may invite us to see it as a beginning of a new life, a new opportunity, a new chance for spiritual evolution. Reincarnation, then, becomes more than a philosophical idea. It becomes an integral part of the soul's endless journey toward God. What if, instead of fearing death, we viewed it as a threshold, a door leading to another chapter in the unfolding legend of our soul? Perhaps the true immortality the Bible speaks of is not a reward or punishment in some distant afterlife, but the ever-repeating cycle of spiritual growth that transcends time itself. This view challenges the traditional Christian doctrine of final judgment and eternal reward, offering instead a compassionate view of the soul's endless evolution. The legend of life, therefore, may not end with death but begin there, an invitation to embrace the deeper mystery of the soul's eternal journey. And with this perspective, we may begin to see that death is not the end of the story, but simply the beginning of a new chapter. The Bible's silent loss, the psychological and spiritual impact of banning reincarnation. Throughout history, ideas have come and gone, shaped by the tides of power, politics, and religious control. Reincarnation is one such idea that, despite its presence in many ancient traditions, was systematically excluded from mainstream Christianity. Its removal from the Christian worldview is not just a theological debate. It has profound psychological and spiritual consequences. When the concept of reincarnation was banned from Christian teachings, what was lost was not just a set of beliefs, but a deep understanding of the soul's journey. Reincarnation offers a view of the soul's evolution that extends beyond the confines of one lifetime. It implies that we are not defined by the mistakes we make in a single life, but by the eternal process of learning, growing, and becoming. The denial of this concept creates a sense of finality that can be psychologically limiting. When life is seen as a one-time event, every failure, every regret becomes heavier, more burdensome. We may find ourselves locked into cycles of guilt and fear, unable to fully embrace the possibility of change. In Christian theology, the concept of eternal judgment places immense pressure on the individual. The idea that one's soul is forever determined by the choices made in one lifetime creates a sense of urgency, a feeling that we must get it right or face eternal consequences. This anxiety can lead to spiritual stagnation, where individuals are less focused on growth and more obsessed with perfection, less open to learning from mistakes, and more consumed by fear of punishment. Reincarnation, however, offers an alternative, a model of spiritual evolution that is both compassionate and expansive. Instead of seeing life as a test, reincarnation sees it as an opportunity for healing and growth. It allows us to view mistakes not as failures, but as lessons, steps in the ongoing journey of the soul. Each life becomes a new chapter, a new chance to learn, evolve, and seek redemption. This perspective shifts our psychological experience of life from one of fear and judgment to one of hope and transformation. From a spiritual perspective, the banning of reincarnation diminishes the richness of the soul's journey. It narrows the view of our potential, creating a worldview that is rigid and fixed rather than open and evolving. The soul, in this view, is trapped within a single life, unable to move beyond the constraints of this moment. But if we embrace the idea of reincarnation, we open ourselves to the possibility of endless spiritual growth. Each life becomes a step toward becoming who we were always meant to be. Psychologically, the effects of this ban are far-reaching. Reincarnation offers a framework in which we are free to grow without the paralyzing fear of finality. It offers healing for the deep wounds we carry, knowing that each lifetime gives us another chance to heal and evolve. The rejection of this concept, on the other hand, may trap us in cycles of guilt, regret, and fear, sapping our ability to live freely and authentically. Reincarnation, as a spiritual concept, invites us to see life not as a burden or a test, but as an opportunity, an endless journey of becoming, of evolving, of transcending. The psychological and spiritual implications of this perspective are profound, offering a pathway to healing, growth, and freedom. The return of reincarnation, rediscovering the Bible's lost teachings. In a world where many feel disconnected from their spiritual roots, there is a growing desire to return to something deeper, a longing for truth that resonates with the soul. This is where the concept of reincarnation, once buried beneath centuries of religious dogma, is now experiencing a resurgence. As we begin to question the finality of life and death, the idea of reincarnation offers a way forward, a way to reconnect with the deeper truths that have been hidden for so long. What if, instead of focusing solely on a one-life theology, we began to see life as a journey that spans many lifetimes? What if the Bible, in its original, unaltered state, contained the teachings of reincarnation, but these teachings were lost, erased, or misinterpreted over time? As modern seekers turn back to the ancient texts, some scholars and spiritual practitioners are finding subtle hints, traces of reincarnation woven into the fabric of biblical wisdom. Reincarnation is not a foreign concept to the Bible. In fact, some of the most profound teachings of Jesus can be seen as echoes of this idea. For example, Jesus spoke often of spiritual rebirth and transformation. But what if this rebirth is not just a one-time event? What if it is an ongoing process, one that spans multiple lives and multiple opportunities for spiritual awakening? If we consider the possibility of reincarnation, we begin to see these teachings in a new light, not as isolated events, but as part of an ongoing journey of the soul. The return of reincarnation is not just a return to an ancient belief, but a return to a deeper understanding of the soul's journey. It is a recognition that the teachings of Jesus, his message of love, forgiveness, and transformation, are not bound by a single lifetime but are part of a larger, eternal process. The soul's evolution is ongoing, And each life is an opportunity for growth, healing, and awakening. Rediscovering reincarnation within the context of the Bible invites us to see life differently. It challenges the traditional view of life as a linear, one-time experience and opens up a new way of understanding the soul's journey. Rather than seeing life as a test to be passed or failed, we begin to see it as a process of continual learning, a path toward greater wisdom and deeper connection with the divine. This return to reincarnation also offers a profound shift in how we approach life's challenges. If we believe in reincarnation, we can approach suffering, loss, and hardship with a sense of peace. These are not final judgments but opportunities for the soul to learn and grow. We are not trapped by our past actions. Instead, we are free to learn, evolve, and transcend. The rediscovery of reincarnation within the Bible is a call to return to the deeper, timeless truths of our spiritual nature. It is an invitation to embrace the eternal journey of the soul, an invitation to live fully, to heal deeply, and to grow endlessly. These three meditative reflections invite us to reconsider traditional views on life, death, and the soul's journey. Through the lens of reincarnation, we begin to see the eternal process of spiritual evolution, where death is not an end, but a transition, a doorway to new opportunities for growth, healing, and transformation. Reincarnation offers a way to break free from the constraints of time and judgment, allowing us to embrace the infinite possibilities of the soul's journey toward divinity.